The Soul Stone is a remnant of one of the 6 singularities which existed before the universe's creation. After the universe came to be, the Big Bang forged the remnants of these singularities into 6 elemental crystals, dubbed the Infinity Stones, and hurled them across the universe. The Soul Stone represented the soul. It would later go on to cultivate a reputation of mystery throughout the galaxy. Even those who were well versed in the powers, and even locations, of the other 5 stones, had little concrete knowledge regarding the Soul Stone to the point of only knowing its name. Despite, or perhaps because of, this aura of mystery, it would eventually be considered as the most dangerous of all the Infinity Stones. Even the Asgardians knew little of the stone, with Thor stating no one had ever seen it or knew where it was. The Soul Stone eventually found its way to Vormir, where it became concealed in a shrine, accessible only to those who were willing to sacrifice someone that they loved. In 1945, the Space Stone banished Red Skull to the planet after he had abused its power, due to knowing that the Hydra commander would be unable to make the sacrifice required to obtain the Soul Stone. The Soul Stone then cursed Red Skull, transforming him into an immortal wraith with the power to immediately know whoever comes to Vormir and preventing him from leaving the planet. He eventually would go on to accept this fate, become a Stonekeeper and serve as an advisor to those who would seek the Soul Stone's power. In 2018, Thanos had captured Nebula and accessed her memory drive, discovering that Gamora knew the location of the Soul Stone. Forcing her to divulge the Soul Stone's location by torturing Nebula, the pair traveled to Vormir. There, they were approached by Red Skull, who explained that Thanos had to sacrifice someone he loved in order to gain the stone. Thanos then tearfully threw Gamora off of the cliff, her sacrificial death allowing him to obtain the stone. Having successfully claimed the Soul Stone, Thanos returned to his desolate homeworld of Titan, where he was confronted by an alliance of Doctor Strange, the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Upon breaking free from being restrained, Thanos used the Soul Stone to remove the souls from the Guardians. When Doctor Strange cast a spell creating dozens of copies of himself in order to restrain him, Thanos used both the Soul Stone and the Power Stone to track down the real Strange and destroy the copies. Thanos then headed to Wakanda, where he retrieved the Mind Stone from Vision. Although he was stabbed by a vengeful Thor, Thanos retained enough strength to complete his quest, activating the Infinity Gauntlet with all the Infinity Stones, including the Soul Stone, to wipe out half of all life in the universe. This act briefly sent his consciousness into the Soul World, where he communed with a reflection of Gamora in her child form, telling her that he had achieved his goal but solemnly admitting that fulfilling his destiny had cost him everything. 3 weeks later, Thanos destroyed all the Infinity Stones, including the Soul Stone, by using the stone's powers on itself, in order to eliminate any possibility of undoing the snap. In 2023, the Avengers initiated a time heist, where they used time travel to travel through the multiverse to alternate past timelines to acquire all 6 Infinity Stones in order to resurrect the victims of Thanos' snap. Arriving in an alternate 2014, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Nebula and War Machine used the Benatar to travel to Morag and Vormir. While on Vormir, Romanoff and Barton met Red Skull, who informed them that one would have to sacrifice the life of a loved one in order to obtain the Soul Stone. Despite Barton's attempts to sacrifice his own life, he was bested by Romanoff, who fell off the cliff, thereby allowing Barton to acquire the stone. While mourning Romanoff's death, Barton used the Quantum Realm to return to his timeline. After successfully transporting the past versions of the stones to their timeline, the Soul Stone was placed in the Nano Gauntlet. Using the gauntlet, Bruce Banner harnessed the power of the 6 stones to resurrect the victims of the snap, albeit losing the ability to use his right arm. In the culmination of the Battle of Earth, the 6 stones were used by Tony Stark to kill an alternate Thanos and his army. Following Stark's funeral, Steve Rogers was sent back in time by Banner in order to put back the Infinity Stones to whence they were taken and journeyed to the alternate 2014 to return the Soul Stone.